Game 2 of our seeding game today. Joe and myself were at Harlingen South earlier this morning. Now we are here at Santa Maria High School. The San Perlita Lady Trojans taking on the San Isidro Lady Tigers.
Yes, sir.
Excuse me, Lady Tigers. And it is a seeding game for the second and three seed in District 32 2A. Both teams coming in with 5-3 district records. The two teams have met 3 times already this year. San Perlita has won 2 of them. Their only loss coming into overtime against San Isidro. So, Joe, again, it's a matter of who's going to get the 2nd seed, who's going to get the 3rd seed right before the playoffs tip off on Monday.
Now, the good news is your two teams playing against another playoff team before the playoffs start, so you get that one final tune-up game. The other news is that you just want to make sure you get through this thing healthy. Earlier today, we watched Harlingen South and Los Fresnos, and the Lady Falcons extended their season perhaps a little further by advancing to a better seed, and that's what these two teams are trying to do here as well. Again, an extra game, and it's not the first. It won't be the last of extra games that are going to be played at the Class 2A level. Already, Kevin, we know some boys' games that are coming up. We'll talk about that later on. But first and foremost, two teams, it's a rivalry game, and they've played close enough that this should be a competitive ball game.
Right, and again, this will be the 4th time that these two meet up. Again, they met twice in district play, and San Perlita was able to sweep the regular season series, but in the tournament is when they lost to them. We're going to take a quick timeout from up here. You are watching Real Sports Live. Welcome back to Rio Sports Live. Lady Tigers taking on the Lady Trojans here at Santa Maria High School. Kevin Arrow, Joe Bowling on the call. We are seconds away from tip-off. Not sure if the coaches elected to go with player introductions. I know some coaches do, some coaches don't. But nonetheless, we are ready to roll here in our second seeding game of the day. Again, we were at Harlingen South earlier. The Lady Hawks are the 3 seed out of 32 6A. Los Fresnos will be the 2 seed. They will play Edinburgh Vela. South will play Westlaco High, and then the case here, Joe, is pretty simple for both of these teams. The winner will play
Freer, and the loser will play Benbolt. That's the 2 and 3 seeds in the district just north of here. And the only question is where they're going to play the games and what date. San Isidro has already locked in that they're going to play on Tuesday, regardless if they win or lose this game. And it's the San Perlita Lady Trojans that are going to be having to do some coin flips if they were to end up having to face Freer. So that's the only real mystery out of this. What to expect in this game? We'll expect two teams that will play hard. There'll be a lot of action on the floor. You expect to see some bodies flying on the floor and going after loose balls. Everything will be contested here. Both teams have the ability to score, but they like to score off their defense. And kind of like in this morning's game at the 6A level, two teams that thrive on defense, but also they rely a lot more on speed. Both of these teams will be the team that tries to take the initiative and outrun the other and get ahead of the court and dictate the pace of this game.
We are just seconds away from tip-off. Joe, you're going to have to help me with the colors from San Isidro.
They are gray with a gold trim. And let's just call it the dark uniforms, and the San Perlita Lady Trojans in the light uniforms with the red trim. Jump ball, they had already a whistle blow. And so it will be Lady Trojan basketball, and away we go.
I was going to say it looks a shade of green to me. That's why I had to ask. So we're getting things underway here from with the San Perlita Lady Trojans on offense. Megan Kenny gets things going, gets it out to Nieto. Back out to Kenny. Right away a whistle.
Well, immediately you see there that the officials will try to control this. It's no secret. These two teams are rivalry teams, and they will get after this. And so we'll be interested to see if they allow this to be played out or if it's going to be the quick whistles to establish control.
Those are Lady Trojans in the white uniforms. That ball picked off. Little scrum for the basketball.
You're going to see a lot of that too, Kevin, again, with two teams that are determined to dictate the pace and determined to come after the loose balls. A lot of jump balls occur in games like that. And even though you get a turnover, you can force one right back. And so points could be hard to come by in this ball game.
Let's meet the starting 5 for San Isidro. Freshman Alexandra Garcia followed by Emma Garcia, the sophomore. Back on the other end is Kenny with the layup. First points of the afternoon belong to San Perlita.
Again, Megan Kinney has the ability to outrun most players on the floor. That time she went coast to coast. If you allow her to go unstopped, she'll do exactly that, and she'll be heading for layups all night.
Nicole Delgado, the sophomore. Roma Elizondo rounding out the starting five for San Isidro. Rebounded by the Lady Trojans. Back comes Nieto on the other end with a breakaway. 2-on-1. That shot blocked from behind.
Nice recovery that time defensively on getting back. That's Mia Alvarado. Alvarado had a terrific volleyball season. She's also one of their top basketball players. You could see there. San Perlita wanted to go with a quick outlet pass off to the races, and the defense got back.
Easy two there for Elisa Nieto, the Nieto combination. Let's meet the starting five for the San Perlita Lady Trojans. Senior Megan Kenny, Carmine Rojas, Alia Garcia, Elisa Nieto, and Araceli Nieto. That's the starting five for Coach Marco Munguia's squad. Lady Trojans lead early 4-0, 6:33, opening quarter. Here from a hot Santa Maria gym. The AC's still not fixed. It's been about a month since we last came, or about 3 weeks.
Yeah, I thought for sure we'd come into a nice, cool gym, and not the case. But we do want to thank the Santa Maria IT department for coming in on a Saturday and helping run the cables to get us set up for our broadcast. So it's hot, but we're functional. We're broadcasting the game.
Absolutely. Garcia to inbound. Nicole Delgado with the ball. She's a sophomore. San Isidro looking to get on the board for the first time this afternoon. That ball picked off. Back on the other end is Nieto. High and off the glass. Gets the friendly roll and good. 6-0 out of the gate. San Perlita. Munguia likes what he sees. Timeout on the floor. We're going to take a timeout up here. You're watching Rio Sports Live.
Number one.
Come see what the City of San Benito has to offer today. Business owners, visit the San Benito Chamber of Commerce and find out how they can help you be a part of the new and exciting growth the city is experiencing today. Supporting business, community, and the teams, San Benito Chamber of Commerce.
This game is brought to you in part by the Concession Stand in Santa Rosa, a locally owned business providing a terrific atmosphere before or after the games and supporting athletes of all ages. When you're in Santa Rosa, be sure to stop by the Concession Stand and choose from the wide assortment of goodies. An advertising partner with Rio Sports Live is the Concession Stand.
Welcome back to Rio Sports Live. Kevin Aro alongside Joe Bowling and Rudy Zamaripa running the camera this afternoon. Garcia inbounds the ball to Delgado. 6-0 Lady Trojan lead early. Garcia now kicks this one inside to Garcia. First bucket of the afternoon for San Isidro. 6-2 now the score. Kenny now fires this one up. That ball knocked away.
Jordan Garcia getting a hand on that on the offensive end. If you give Jordan Garcia the ball in the paint, that's trouble. She can finish. She's strong. She's athletic. If she doesn't make her shot, normally she'll be there to contend for the offensive rebound.
Kenny directing the offense. Passes the volleyball line. Kicks this one out to Nieto. Back out to Rojas. She'll put up a three. In and out of the rim. No good. And the ball will stay with the Lady Trojans.
Two Trojans that time actually got tangled up. Alexandria Garcia looked like she had the ball secured. She got knocked to the ground by her own player.
Araceli Nieto inbounds it. That one off the glass, just off the mark. Should stay with San Perlita, and it does. Just went off the fingertips of Nicole Delgado.
Delgado, a sophomore. This is a young squad when you really look at this San Isidro team, with the exception of Jordan Garcia, who's out there, and she's a strong senior. But there's youth on this team.
Yeah, you look up and down this roster, you see plenty of sophomores and juniors, even a couple freshmen. Alexandria Garcia, she's a freshman. Speaking of which, she's listed as a starter here this afternoon for San Isidro. Nieto inbounds it to Kenny. Kenny trying to find a lane in the defense. Gets this one out to Rojas. Rojas at the top. Back out to Kenny. Kenny fakes the three, and that's going to be a travel.
Use that head and shoulder fake, but Kevin, we've talked about that before. If you raise one foot when you do that head and shoulder fake and then put the foot down, dribble the ball, you've established a pivot foot. If you don't, 9 times out of 10, whether it is a travel or not, the official's going to blow the whistle. That's an instant call.
That ball knocked away by Rojas. The ball will stay with San Isidro. Garcia now coming to inbound the ball. 6'2". Inside to Delgado, one of the sophomores we mentioned, starting this afternoon's game. Over to Emma Garcia. Being guarded closely by Nieto, and that one's picked away. Nieto on the breakaway. Here she goes, layup. Looked as if she almost got fouled on her way to the bucket, but no call. A good non-call there from the officials. Driving in San Isidro the other way. Back comes Kenny. A strong hustle play there from Kenny, and that's what you get out of these two schools right here.
That's what I talked about in the pregame show, that we're going to see bodies on the floor, loose balls, open, anything contested. There's going to be players willing on both teams to go after that loose ball.
Substitutions. Karina Perez comes into the ball game for Emma Garcia. Kenny with a bounce pass to Rojas. Back over to Kenny. Swing pass over to Nieto, and she loses the handle on it. It's going to be a turnover.
It's a good job on the press break. You want to always attack a press break with, the ball not hitting the floor, and that time they had 4 passes. Would have been a layup had you put that ball a little bit more in front. That would have been a layup.
That's going to be an easy travel there.
Again, fans may watch this and say, well, this is sloppy basketball. No, it's really not. It's defense that's causing these turnovers. There's no easy trip anywhere. All the passing lanes are contested. Anything on the sideline is contested. It's just a different defense in your face at a pace that both teams are trying to dictate that's an upper level.
Kenny had a good eye on the pass there. Just Nieto wasn't ready for it. So the scoring started quick and often for San Perlita, but since then both teams trying to find their rhythm offensively. 6-2 San Perlita with the early lead. That pass inside and good. Karina Perez comes off the bench and adds a pair.
Give the assist to Jordan Garcia. She may have the best vision on the court as she's always looking to pass. Now she gets a steal.
She gets a good steal. It comes the other way. It's a 3-on-1 off the glass, just off the side of the rim. No good. Second chance points. Kenny trying to get that rebound, but back comes Jordan Garcia. It's going to be a turnover, and it's going to be Lady Trojan basketball.
Jordan Garcia's got to look over at Mia Alvarado that time and say, hey, I hit you right there 2 feet away. You got to make that basket. We're going back to play defense. Instead, they still trail on the scoreboard.
Elisa Nieto inbounding the ball. San Perlita going from right to left. Kenny bounce pass to Nieto. Back over to Kenny. Substitutions in for San Perlita. Jasmine Rodriguez in the game. She hits a 3. The sophomore Rodriguez comes right in and hits a big-time shot for San Perlita.
When you can have shooters coming off your bench, that's always a luxury. Again, there will be no shortage of effort out there, but then when you start getting scoring, things change, and the pendulum could swing in San Perlita's favor if that continues.
Delgado passes that one up inside. It's going to be a jump ball. Jordan Garcia trying to find a lane.
And that time, Aaliyah Garcia was in there. She's got some good height as a sophomore for Coach Munguia's squad.
9-4, back end of the first period, and back comes San Isidro. All of a sudden, it's just a 3-point game.
Cole Delgado that time using off the dribble and the patience to kiss that off the glass.
Nieto, again, lost the handle of the ball, and it's going to be another turnover. So turnovers coming in bunches for San Perlita here late in the first quarter. Like Joe mentioned, it's not that it's sloppy basketball. These defenses are really putting it to each other. Under 3 minutes to go here in the opening period, and Kenny knocked that one away.
One thing you don't want to do is the case there. Mia Alvarado was dribbling into a double team. You can see it. If you can keep your head up, you can see a double team coming. You can throw through that or over that, and you've got numbers on the backside of that pressure.
Alexandra Garcia was trying to drive to the hole, but they call that a travel, Joe?
Travel before the contact. So was it contact? Yes, but the travel happened first, thus the turnover.
Loose ball picked up by Nieto, and that's going to stay with San Perlita. Yeah, good. It was off of Jordan Garcia's hands, just by the fingertips.
Yeah, she thought she tipped that off a San Perlita player, and she may have a good case there if she were to get the benefit of an instant replay.
Rodriguez pass. Oh, yeah, instant replay in basketball. On turnovers, yeah. Great. Three-pointer is up. That one's off the side of the rim, no good. Back comes San Perlita the other way. Kenny pushing it, 2-on-1. Sees the bounce pass, and it's picked off by San Isidro's Karina Perez. She had the lane there. She was looking for Aaliyah Garcia.
Karina Perez got that pick, but she had nowhere to go with the basketball. Momentum carried her out of bounds.
Nieto back out to Garcia. Puts up a deep two and good. They're going to count it. It's a 2. The official letting the scores table know. It was right around that range of the three-point land. Back comes San Isidro. Driving to the hole. Strong move and one. Counted in the foul. Mia Alvarado, the sophomore.
At first, when Alvarado caught that pass, I don't think she realized just how open the middle of the court was. Once she did, push the accelerator, and you always teach players, if you get to the paint and no one stopped you yet, go up to make a basket. You might get to the free throw line, as is the case here.
Trying to complete the three-point play. Just off the mark. Rebounded by Rojas. She comes back into the game. Back comes Kenny on the other end. Has Nieto to her left. Going to take this one herself. Wow, what a move by Kenny.
Megan Kenny on the finish that time. She'll come up gingerly on that. And again, the big question mark. Anytime you're playing in these extra games heading into the playoffs is you want to get out of these things healthy. Kenny stays in the ball game. That's a good sign for the San Perlita Lady Trojans. She attacked 1-on-2 that time, and again, she's one of the players on the court that is fearless enough to attack, even if she doesn't have the right numbers.
Right, and I thought she was going to pass the ball up. She had it if she wanted to.
She'll have a seat on the bench, so now we'll take a look at what happens as far as the speed game goes for the San Perlita Lady Trojans.
Back comes San Isidro on the other end. They trail 13-8. The final 2 minutes of this first quarter. That bucket's good. Alvarado again with another pair.
Again, you got to like that they're willing to take that mid-range jumper. A lot of times you see players that are going to be content only if they can get all the way to the goal. They're taking these mid-range jumpers and knocking them down.
Aaliyah Garcia, that's going to call an offensive foul.
Garcia catching the pass there on the blocks, and it just an instant move. She wasn't expecting Garcia to stand her ground. Alexandria Garcia, good job of getting in position to take that charge and then not moving until the contact occurred.
Jordan Garcia back out to Nicole Delgado. Delgado being guarded by Nieto. Pass back out to Jordan Garcia. Trying to set up the offense to San Isidro. They trail by 3. They haven't led yet. They can tie the game here with one shot. Defense really putting on the pressure from San Perlita. Nieto doing a good job on guarding Nicole Delgado.
And Nieto was bodying up there. And again, one thing you tell your players at the start of a game, anytime, if you're a coach, is see if you're going to be in a game that's physical. See how far you can press the envelope. Obviously, there wasn't a whistle. It was physical play. You continue to play that way. And you develop consistency, for one thing, for the officials to make the easier calls. But it also allows you to understand, here's how far I can go. Here's where I have to back off. And it gets groans out of the crowds. But until the whistle blows the first time, you got to keep pressing the envelope and see how far you can go on a physical level.
So Nicole Delgado to inbound the ball. The officials discussing, not exactly sure what they're chatting about.
Let's go quick.
They called a foul away from the ball. They called it on San Perlita. That's just trying to fight for position.
Delgado inbounds this one to Mia Alvarado. Nice move by Alvarado to get past the defender. Kicks this one out. That jumper off the back of the rim, no good. Second chance points. So far, San Isidro is doing a good job on the offensive boards, giving the offense an opportunity for second chance points. Jordan Garcia's shot was just off the mark.
That time on the weak side boards, they saw Jordan Garcia was going to pull up for that short shot. And again, we talked about it during the Harlingen South game. If your rebounders can know that shot's going up, they can get in position to get those offensive rebounds, get a step ahead of the opponent.
Kenny back in the game. That pass to Nieto and a missed layup there. So Megan Kenny back in the game for San Perlita. That's a pleasant sight if you're a Trojan fan. 37 seconds left in the opening period. It's been a long first quarter. Feels like a lengthy one here at Santa Maria High School. Again, a seeding game. District 32 2A. That ball is going to be thrown away, and it's going to be a turnover.
Lady Tigers that time got in a little bit of a hurry. lot of times that happens on the backside of a press. You get caught up in speeding things up so much to beat the press that you forget you can go ahead and run an offense once you get in the half-court set. You don't have to go for that home run pass.
Back comes San Perlita going from right to left. That jumper, good. Count it. Araceli Nieto gives the Lady Trojans a 5-point lead. 15 seconds left in the first period. Back comes the press from San Perlita. It's going to be a whistle.
Now, Lady Trojans, that's going to be the 5th team foul. And now, suddenly, instead of just bodying up, playing strong defense, last 2 times, the reach. And so now you're starting to get your hands involved. And you're going to get a lot quicker whistle if you start reaching those hands out and making contact versus just bodying up and trying to play position game.
Brie Maldonado comes into the ball game. Elisa Nieto will catch a breather on the sideline. Final 10 seconds in the opening period. Trojans lead by 5. We'll see what San Isidro tries to do. That jumper just off the side of the rim, no good. And that's how the first quarter will come to an end. As we head to the second quarter, San Perlita 15, San Isidro 10. You're watching Rio Sports Live.
Hi, we're Lady Vikings, and thank you for watching Rio Sports Live.
It's Truck Month at Hacienda Ford, and we're asking for your vote. Blue Truck stands for 4x4 off-roading, outdoor living at its best. Red Truck stands for hitting the job site with all your tools. It's the right truck for the working man. So where do you stand? Right now, you can get a 2019 Ford Ranger Crew Cab for just $26,977 and get 1.9% interest for 72 months. Vote Ford. Vote Hacienda.
Hi, we're Robert Bella's favorite cats, and thank you for watching.
Welcome back to Rio Sports Live. Kevin Arrow alongside Joe Bowling and Mr. Rudy Zamaripa running the camera. So we got
Junior.
some Rudy Zamaripa Jr. I didn't know he was
Yeah,
a
the
junior.
original is his dad sitting at home.
I didn't know he was a junior. That's good to know. But some boys basketball. What's going on?
Well, this district hasn't decided anything on the boys' side, despite the fact they wrapped up district play last night. There is a 3-way tie, 3 teams fighting for the final 2 spots in the playoffs, meaning that San Isidro, La Sara, and La Villa are all knotted up, and 2 teams will punch their ticket and have some extra play. The other team will be sitting at home, but that'll all be decided on a Wednesday-Saturday deal, starting Wednesday at La Sara when it's San Isidro taking on La Villa. The winner will then play against La Sara at San Perlita on Saturday. And then depending on who wins and loses that one, there may be another game played out to decide the final 2 spots in the district play. But again, the boys' district is anything but decided. 3 teams fighting for 2 spots. It all begins Wednesday. We'll be there in La Sara.
That shot's good. Karina Perez gets the scoring started here in the second quarter. Back to a 3-point game. Again, San Isidro has not led just yet. They're on the fast track to do so here. That 3-pointer gonna be shot, but knocked out from behind by Nicole Delgado. Good awareness there on the defensive side. Back comes San Isidro. That's a 2-pointer just off the mark. Another second chance points for San Isidro. Well, Rojas, it looked as if she got fouled, but
No, she didn't get fouled. She got run into by Megan Kinney. Her
Okay.
own teammate came racing over there. Karime was like, hey, I got the ball. I'll give it to you. You don't have to take it from me. But then again, that just shows the hustle. It looked like it was a loose ball. And there's going to be no shortage of players on both sides going for loose balls in this ballgame.
Perez inbounds it to Elizondo. Back out to Jordan Garcia. And again, there's what you talked about, the miscommunication there. Back to Mia Alvarado. That one's going to be picked up. It's going to be a turnover. Back comes San Perlita on the other end. Pass to Kinney. She's going to get fouled. It looked as if Mia Alvarado just had some miscommunication on that last possession. She almost took it away from her own teammate.
You watch how fast they get off and running once they got possession of the basketball. On a court like this, it's a big court for one, but then you factor in this is a warm gym. Does fatigue play into this game, or are these 2 teams conditioned? It's late in the season. It's a gut check on just have you maintained conditioning throughout the season. A lot of times that's lost. Players and coaches get lost in, well, there's too many games and we just don't condition. But we'll see here if someone blinks.
Kinney misses both free throws. And the ball will be with San Perlita. Bri Maldonado to inbound. Whoop, now they're going to swap it. Araceli Nieto comes into the baseline. She inbounds it. Pass inside to Garcia. Gets her own rebound. And back comes Jordan Garcia on the other end. Breakaway showing off the speed, the layup. Just a little bit too much on it. Kenny now with a full court pass over to Rojas. Trying to save it, and it goes out of bounds, and it'll be San Isidro basketball. .6:37 left in the first half. 3-point Lady Trojan lead in this seeding game. That pass to Alvarado. Count it, and the foul.
Good
Mia
recognition. Alvarado running the lane and just get the ball in rhythm. She catches it, shoots it in one motion, and now has a chance to tie the game.
Nice move from the sophomore. Now looking to complete the 3-point play. And it'll stay a 1-point San Perlita lead. Back comes Kenny, taking on 3 defenders. Back comes inside is Garcia. Aaliyah Garcia with good awareness there. Back up to a 3-point lead. 6:14 left in the second period. That was a dangerous pass. Back comes San Isidro again. They can tie it here with one shot. That one's going to be out of bounds, just out of the reach of Karina Perez.
Frustrating part on San Isidro's side is you keep climbing uphill to try to catch up. Every time you get on the brink, missed free throw, turnover, now a chance here.
Perez with the easy layup, back to a 1-point game. That ball just out of the reach of Nieto, and it'll be a turnover. Araceli Nieto right in front of the San Isidro bench. So now with a 2-pointer, something as simple as a layup can give San Isidro the lead. But Kenny has other ideas, picks this one off, 3-on-1, here's the advantage. Rojas off the glass and good. It's a big steal there for San Perlita. The lead is back up to 3. Still a 1-possession game though. 5:26 here in the first half. Long pass over to Perez. Falls down. Here comes Kenny. She'll get knocked around by Jordan Garcia. This game a lot like the one we saw this morning. A lot of physical play, a lot of contact.
Yeah, it's defense, and it's reliance on speed. Can you outrun the other team down court and then always win the race to the loose balls? Thus, a lot of whistles. Thus, it's hard to get in a rhythm to play the game. It's just it's a tough matchup for both teams.
Kenny puts up a deep 3-pointer, no good. Rebounded by Rojas. Kicks that one out to Garcia. That shot well off the mark. Back comes Jordan Garcia over to Nicole Delgado. Delgado with the ball, directing the offense. Passes this one side to Perez. Perez kicks this one out. That 3-pointer is off the mark from Jordan Garcia. And it'll be SP basketball. Jasmine Rodriguez, another sophomore on Marco Munguia's squad. She comes into the ball game. Kenny will take a seat. 4:47 in the first half. Nieto with the ball. Passes this one up to Nieto. Back over to Nieto. There's 2 Nietos on the court, folks. I know Harlingen South has 2 Rodriguez's. And some folks can passing it to each other. No, there's more than 1. Here comes San Isidro going from left to right. Technically the away team here this afternoon. Although they are meeting here at Santa Maria High School. Both schools obviously familiar with this site. Santa Maria is in their district. That 3-pointer's up. High shot, well off the mark. Back comes Nieto on the other end. Under 5 minutes to go here in the first half in this 32-2A seeding game. Garcia's 3-pointer off the side of the rim and no good. Now Rojas comes up with the basketball. No whistle. Officials letting that one play out. Jasmine Rodriguez now going to reset the offense. Gets this one out to Eliza Nieto. That ball picked away and a nice play from San Isidro. And here they come on the other end from our left to right. Alvarado driving to the lane.
And she'll pick up a blocking foul. which will be the 7th team foul, so it's a free throw opportunity. Nice job. Again, you talk about keeping your head up. She was coming up the floor. She saw a defender in the paint, setting up to take a charge. All she has to do was make one ball fake, which she did, sidestep the defender. It's either a layup uncontested or you take the contact, you get to the free throw line.
Emma Garcia comes into the ball game for San Isidro. Free throw off the mark, rebounded by San Perlita. Back comes Kenny on the other end. 19-16, still a 3-point lead. That floater's no good. Kenny gets her own rebound, but she stepped out of bounds on the baseline, and it's going to be San Isidro basketball.
Can't be the last person to touch it and the first person to touch it if you go out of bounds in between those two possessions.
San Isidro can tie it here. Nicole Delgado being guarded by Kenny. A whistle comes in here to our near side.
You can see the difference again. Megan Kenny was just caught reaching. You come across your body, across the player with the ball's body, that's going to be a reach 9 out of 10 times.
Delgado at the free throw line. Knocks down the first one, back to a 2-point game.
Push it under, Alex, under.
Makes both of them. 1-point ball game. Back and forth we go at Santa Maria High School. Garcia gets this one out. Kicks this one back inside to Garcia, off the glass and good, and a big bucket there for the Lady Trojans.
They always seem to have an answer, able to edge back out, keep that 3-point cushion. Still one possession, but still the cushion, and you're always chasing if you're San Isidro.
Delgado being guarded by Rojas, now Kenny. Jumper from the elbow off the side of the rim, off the mark. Turnaround, no good, and back comes San Perlita. It's going to be a one-on-one. Rojas is going to stop. Try to get that one into Kenny. That bucket's good. Boy, Kenny took a spill there underneath the basket.
On both ends of the floor, he had bodies flying. Jordan Garcia went down. She's limping as she heads back to the sideline. That's something you don't want to see on the San Isidro side. You see a Megan Kenny spill. Again, this is the byproduct of two teams that are just not going to back down. And you just want to get them out of here and both be healthy enough to enter the playoffs. They're both playoff bound, Kevin.
Yeah, and so with that being said, we're going to go ahead and take a timeout up here. Late in the second quarter, you're watching Rio Sports Live.
Sherryland ISD, a nationally recognized district focusing on quality and rigorous instruction where every child is immersed in a culture of academic success. A district dedicated to preparing our youth for the future. Our mission is to inspire, educate, and empower all students to reach their full potential and become leaders of the highest moral character. Sherryland ISD, excellence is our tradition.
Welcome back to Rio Sports Live. Kevin Arrow, Joe Bowling on the call. 2:39 left in the first half. San Perlita with the lead, and again, welcome aboard. Second seeding game of the day. The winner here will get the 2 seed. The loser will be the 3 seed, as both teams are playoff bound, like Joe mentioned. Playoffs can start as early as Monday, and we've already seen some teams pencil in games on Monday. Some will go on Tuesday, but nonetheless, we are just a couple of days away from playoff basketball. At least on the girls' side. The boys still about a week behind, but nonetheless, these two teams are playoff bound and just trying to position themselves for a better seeding in the playoffs.
Once again, the boys have concluded their district play, but it's anything but decided who's in the playoffs. 3 teams will fight for 2 spots Wednesday and Saturday. Bonus coverage on Rio Sports Live.
Free throws good from Nicole Delgado, but the San Perlita's boys district, they did wrap up last night. Still a couple of district games left, and I know 32-6A and 31-6A.
Yeah, the 1 and 2 spots are secure. That's the 2 teams that played last night. San Perlita, the 1 seed. Santa Maria, the 2 seed. They even know who they're playing. Well, they don't. They're waiting for a game to be played out today. But it's the other 2 spots are wide open on the boys' side.
Kenny with the ball kicks this one out, and it's going to be saved. And that one, ball being pinballed around, really. Rojas kicks this one out to Kenny. Thought about the 3, Gets it back out to Rojas. She'll put up the 3.
Good, Romo.
Just off the mark as we reach the 2-minute mark here in the first half. Kenny now gets the steal. Good defensive move there by Kenny, taking that away from Garcia.
Jordan Garcia still hasn't returned to the bench yet, from the bench for the San Isidro Lady Tigers. She was over there stretching out. I think she'll be able to return, but right now they're going to miss her presence. Final couple of minutes here in the first half.
Kenny's free throw is good. 4-point lead, and again, the magic number seemed to have been 3. San Perlita now leading by 4 and a shot to lead by 5. Misses the second free throw. 1 for 2 for Kenny. Gets the rebound. Good hustle there, but that ball's picked off. Back comes San Isidro's Emma Garcia. Just good hustle play there from the Lady Tigers. This one kicked out. Passed inside to Garcia. Knocked away. Second chance points, no good. Another shot, third time's the charm. It's another opportunity there from Mia Alvarado, really just keeping their composure, staying focused, and being able to control the boards offensively. 2-point ball game, Lady Trojans lead by 2. San Isidro has a shot to either take their first lead of the afternoon or they can tie it here with a bucket. Pass outside to Garcia. Back out to Delgado. Garcia back inside to Delgado, trying to set up the offense. Nice move. Roma Elizondo had the right idea. Lost a handle on the ball. Again, substitutions coming back in for San Isidro. Karina Perez comes into the ball game. 1 minute, 8 seconds left in the first half. Pass inside, turnaround off the glass, no good. Offensive board. San Isidro unable to take advantage of the second chance points. Here comes Kenny, and that's going to be a double dribble.
Again, the heart, the desire is there for the San Isidro Lady Tigers. Can you get that next basket and at least tie this game, or if you hit a 3, take the lead?
Here in the final minute, San Isidro has an opportunity to do that right here. Karina Perez with the ball. That one's picked off. Back comes Rojas on the other end. Chased from behind, gets knocked out by Elizondo. Good hustle from Roma Elizondo, just a freshman. Showed off the speed and the awareness there defensively to force the turnover. 42 seconds left. Again, San Isidro has an opportunity to take their first lead of the afternoon and send the momentum in their favor into the locker room as we approach halftime. Pass inside, that jumper, good! We're all tied up. Mia Alvarado with the bucket, 24 all. 22 seconds, clock ticking away here in the first half. Kenny with the ball, she's in a jumper, offensive foul.
16.8 seconds left here in this first half. San Isidro has been working all game to overcome the San Perlita lead. Now a chance to take the lead to head into the halftime locker room.
Big possession here for San Isidro. 10 seconds, clock ticking away, here we go. Perez's shot off the mark, rebounded by San Perlita. Ball picked away. They have one more shot, get it up, and it's a travel. Wild, wild first half as we head to the second half. 24 all. Kevin Arrow, Joe Bowling coming to you live from Santa Maria High School and the seeding game between the Lady Trojans and the Lady Tigers. You're watching Real Sports Live.
Hi, we're Mackay Bulldogs. Thanks for watching Real Sports Live.
A Piece of Cake by Ibadas in Harlingen is a sweet stop for cakes, cookies, and pastries. The best in town for specialty cakes made to order. Sweetbread, cookies, pies, or how about cupcakes? At A Piece of Cake by Ibadas, try a Texas-sized cinnamon roll, or how about some tamales? Wedding cakes, graduations, you dream it and they can make it. The best in town is A Piece of Cake by Ibadas in Harlingen.
Hi, we're the Lady Tigers, and thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
Located in the historic downtown district in San Benito is Main Street Boutique. A perfect stop, great atmosphere, locally owned and operated, and new items coming in every day. Something for everyone. Main Street Boutique in San Benito.
This game is brought to you in part by the Concession Stand in Santa Rosa, a locally owned business providing a terrific atmosphere before or after the games and supporting athletes of all ages. When you're in Santa Rosa, be sure to stop by the Concession Stand and choose from the wide assortment of goodies. An advertising partner with Rio Sports Live is the Concession Stand.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Castillo. I invite you to visit San Benito and see for yourself the many things this community has to offer. Our offices of economic development offer a variety of business resources to developers, investors, and business owners from small to large scale. Contact us and let us work together on your next business opportunity.
Back here at halftime as we are in Santa Maria. The gym has not got the air conditioning working yet. If you're coming to a game here soon, it's okay to wear the shorts. Dress cool. They brought in fans before we got here. They're bringing more fans in right now as we speak, as they're trying to keep this place cooled down. At halftime, nothing decided between these two teams. Well, nothing was decided at the end of the regular season. San Isidro and San Perlita playing this extra game to find out who goes where in the 2 and 3 seeds in the district. And at halftime, again, nothing decided. In the games I broadcast, 95% of the time, teams separated by 2 points or less at the halftime break. First team to call timeout loses 95% of the time. It happened last night. So the percentage continues. Keep that in your back pocket, Mr. Naro. We'll be right back.
Music lovers, you have to stop and see the assortment of records, tapes, and records memorabilia at Forever Memories today. Located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, Texas, there's over 10,000 records on display and more coming every day. Looking for your favorite album from the past, first pressings, collectibles. How about a 45 with a single you just have to have? Freddie Fender, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, Elvis, Beatles, blues, rock, classics, Tejano, it's all here. Organized and priced for you. Forever Memories, 237 North Sam Houston, San Benito.
We are the Patriots. Thank you for watching Rio Sports Live.
Sherryland ISD, a nationally recognized district focusing on quality and rigorous instruction where every child is immersed in a culture of academic success. A district dedicated to preparing our youth for the future. Our mission is to inspire, educate, and empower all students to reach their full potential and become leaders of the highest moral character. Sherryland ISD, excellence is our tradition.
This game is brought to you in part by the Concession Stand in Santa Rosa, a locally owned business providing a terrific atmosphere before or after the games and supporting athletes of all ages. When you're in Santa Rosa, be sure to stop by the Concession Stand and choose from the wide assortment of goodies. An advertising partner with Rio Sports Live is the Concession Stand.
Welcome back to Santa Maria High School. Kevin Aro, Joe Bowling in the seeding game here between San Perlita and San Isidro, and pretty much what we expected, a tie ball game. And when you were talking about that statistic, I started thinking about my writing days, and when people ask me how do you go about basketball, I said, well, most of the time the story comes within the final 3 minutes, 2 minutes, when you talk about a close game. So all the notes that I wrote in the first half really don't mean anything but maybe a note, but later in the story, or maybe for a notebook later in the week. But really the meat and potatoes come in the final minutes, and I think that's the direction that this game is headed, because these teams are familiar. They have familiarity with each other. They've already played 3 times this year. They're district opponents. And, you know, you talk about how warm it is in this gym and the fatigue, but you know what? We're at the point in the season where everybody's tired.
Yeah, they are tired.
Everyone's bruised up. Everyone's got a little nick here and there. Just waiting for Rudy, our camera op, to...
He decided to take a break there. The camera went stationary, but Yeah, Kevin, it's something I started tracking years and years and years and years and years ago. And that stat, again, it's about, not necessarily scientific, 92, I'll say 95% of the time. I'll stick with that. And the games I broadcast, and that's a bunch of them. 2 points or less at the halftime break, first time to call a timeout loses. Now, there's some reasons behind that. So often in the second half, if you get a team that comes out on an immediate run, the other team calls a timeout, but they never recover from that. Later in the game, you may have to take a timeout and to keep possession of a ball or to gain possession of a ball, and you lose that timeout that you need later on. So it always plays a factor in, and that timeout means something. But again, we'll see if it plays out 95% of the time. We'll be right back after this.
Our professional advisors at Employee Retirement Service have been providing financial and retirement planning for many years for employees of different employment.
If you've spent your career in education and are ready for the next chapter, let the professionals at Employment Retirement Services help. You've worked hard, and now it's time to relax and enjoy with peace of mind and security.
Help fulfill your retirement needs. Come experience the difference with us.
And let's plan your retirement together. Call us at 956-440-8774 to schedule your appointment today.
Welcome back to Rio Sports Live. Kevin Arrow, Joe Bowling, and Rudy Zamaripa. 2:19 left here at halftime. 24 all, and the momentum really, Joe, is, in my opinion, in favor of San Isidro. San Perlita got off to that start. They got off to a good start. They led by 3, they led by 5, but slowly chipping away was San Isidro, and they were able to take the momentum into that locker room, all tied up at 24, and I talked with Coach Clarice Arredondo last night about just how meaningful are these, not playing games, but seeding games. And the coaches take a step back and they do their homework and they look at the playoff brackets and say, if you're going to be the 2 seed, you avoid this team in the second round, the third round. If you're the 3rd seed, then you have to play a much tougher team in the 2nd or 3rd round. So it's all by design. It's not that these coaches like, oh, well, let's just be the 3 seed. Let's be the 2 seed. No, there's an actual purpose behind it. And I think that was evident today where you see Harlingen South. You win, you get to play Vela, a more favorable matchup. You lose, okay, here you go. You get to take on Weslaco. So, and that's no disrespect to Edinburgh Vela at all, but just, in our opinions, we believe that the most favorable matchup for Harlingen South would be Edinburgh Vela.
So coaches who all think they are going to win would rather play a game as opposed to let's rely on a coin toss to decide where we're going. But you're right, Kevin, it goes much deeper than who do we play in the first round. Usually they're looking at how do I match up in the 2nd and 3rd round. Again, they're all expecting to win. They want to get in the playoffs and win. And so why not look at it from let's play this game instead of flip a coin.
Right, and for me, if I was a coach, I would definitely be a fan of playing these games rather than relying on a coin flip, especially when it comes to a seeding game, or heck, even more importantly, there's even play-in games. Why would you want to risk your whole season on a coin flip? You just play that extra game to get you in and give you that opportunity to make the playoffs.
Use that Ernie Banks mentality. If you're going to play the sport and you get a chance to play, let's play 2. Well, in this case, of basketball, hey, we get a chance to play an extra game, let's play that game.
Right. And
some coaches even keep a game in their back pocket so that once district play is finished, they can play a warm-up game to get ready for the playoffs.
Right, and one thing that I've seen over the time in softball is when coaches elect to go one game or they elect to go a series, and more often than not in our area when we start playing teams from San Antonio and up north, I say go one gamer. Slay the Giant once. You have to beat them once. That's it. Can you beat them twice? Most likely no. Sometimes it's no, you can't beat them twice, or we know that. So go one gamer.
See what happens
All
there.
it takes is one.
Here in this one, we have 1 half remaining. That is in regulation. Are we heading to overtime? I'm going to ask that once. I may ask that 3 more times before we get to the finish of this one. I don't think anyone's going away from the other. Again, you like the effort of the San Isidro Lady Tigers. They kept battling back, it was within 1-3. It kept going back and forth. And you wondered, are they ever going to get there? Because you can expend a lot of energy, and it's important they tied the game as you head into the halftime locker room, because now they can say, we caught them. Now it's try to take the lead. They'll have the ball to start the second half. We'll see if they establish that right out of the gate and try to take the lead.
Nicole Delgado will tip off this second half with the inbound pass to Mia Alvarado, and we're underway from Santa Maria High School in the second half. This 32-2A seeding game between the Lady Tigers and the Lady Trojans.
Establishing quickly, they're going to post up. Jordan Garcia, one of the most athletic players on the floor, capable of handling the ball either hand, can finish in the paint. This time took the contact, and she'll get to the free throw line. It is good to see her on the floor. Again, she left in the first half with what I think was nothing more than cramping, because she was just stretching out behind the back.
And Garcia gives San Isidro their first lead of the afternoon, and it comes here in the early stages of the third quarter. They lead by 1. And a turnover. Now Kenny trying to save the ball and does, but it goes back into the hands of Garcia. Garcia feeds this one inside. Turnaround jumper, no good. Back comes Kenny hustling for the ball. Picks it up, tosses it over to Rojas. Layup and good. How about the athleticism from Kenny to not really just pass it, but to kind of just scoop the ball over.
Just recognition and vision on the court. Knowing where your teammates are and finding a way to get the ball to her.
Yeah, she just like tapped it over to Rojas.
Was it a traditional pass? No.
Just
was it an effective pass? Yes.
She knew where she was going. Nieto to inbound the ball. That jumper off the back of the rim, no good. Shot from Jasmine Rodriguez. Rodriguez now fighting for the basketball. Again, we're going to get a lot of that. Emma Garcia gets up off the floor.
It's not the first player to hit the floor. It won't be the last in this ball game. I can assure you of that.
Nieto to inbound the ball. Nieto, Rodriguez, Brojas, and Kenny all on the court for San Perlita.
Official stepping in there to make sure that everyone okay. Well, okay, let's keep this on the basketball side of things. Let's not get totally physical. These teams aren't going to back away, Mr. Official. They're going to keep coming.
Fans wanted to travel on Rodriguez. They're not going to get it. Garcia puts up a 3, air balls it, rebounded by San Isidro's Jordan Garcia. Here she comes on the other end. Ball almost picked away by Kenny. Now here comes the double team on Delgado. A jump ball, and it's going to be San Isidro basketball.
Delgado that time spun, put her back to the defenders. When she spun back into them, didn't even realize she was stepping into a double team.
1 point lead for San Isidro. Nicole Delgado with the ball, gets this one out on the far side of the court. Over to Alexandria Garcia. That pass inside, picked off. Turnover, Rojas over to Garcia. That jumper doesn't get the friendly roll. Try to get her own rebound, and it should be San Isidro basketball.
Elia Garcia that time pulled the trigger on that one. It was her hand that went off of, and it is San Isidro Lady Tiger ball.
Alvarado to inbound it to Delgado. San Perlita yet to score in this quarter. Delgado with the ball, picked off by Kenny. Back comes San Perlita on the other end. Rodriguez, the layup. Just off the side of the rim and no good. And another hustle play from Rodriguez. Gets this one out to Kenny. Kenny back to Rodriguez. Had the shot, elects to pass it up to Garcia. She puts up a 3. Good.
Extra pass, and Garcia not shy about taking that 3.
29-25 now, the lead for San Perlita. Alvarado taking on the triple team. Good. Easy deuce there.
The Alvarado coming right back. Are we going to go back and forth? Now the flow of the game seems to be picking up here.
That pass well over the head of Kenny, and it's going to be a turnover.
San Isidro trailed by as many as 5 in that first half, as many as 8 at one time. That was the biggest lead. Showing the resiliency. Down 4 here in this third. Now a chance to tie or take the lead from beyond the arc.
A lot of resiliency, especially from a young club. Delgado to inbound. Jordan Garcia will take a seat. Gets the pass out to Mia Alvarado. That ball poked away. Back comes San Perlita. Garcia with the steal. She just hit a three-pointer. Trying to hang on to possession of the ball. And a quick 5 points from Aaliyah Garcia. Quick 5-point swing there from the Lady Trojans. Back comes San Isidro on the other end. That's Roma Elizondo. That pass inside to Garcia. High off the glass. No good. Second chance points. Just off the mark from Perez. Nieto. Over to Rodriguez. Rodriguez trying to get a handle on the ball. Kicks it out to Kenny. She puts up a wide open three. Count it. Good. All of a sudden an 8-0 run from San Perlita behind a pair of threes from Garcia and Kenny. And now we're going to go ahead and take a timeout. Oh, no, I thought you were signaling timeout.
I'm watching to see if she's going to pull the trigger on a timeout. Coach trying to let them play through this right now.
So Joe is alluding to Coach Renee Flores, who thought she would take a timeout, but that's not the case. Back comes Garcia. Good! Aaliyah Garcia, 7 points here in the quarter, and they've been huge. It's a 9-point San Perlita lead, and all of a sudden the offense really finding their groove.
Well, 7 points since Jordan Garcia sat on the bench for the San Isidro Lady Tigers. This thing went from a close game to now a 9-point balloon. The lead for the San Perlita Lady Trojans. San Isidro needs a basket here. I know there's still 4:51 left in the third, but you got to right the ship. You got to get points on the board and steady things down.
Modesta Garcia comes into the ball game for San Perlita. Back comes Mia Alvarado trying to get San Isidro on the board. That jumper off the back of the rim, no good. Garcia over to Kenny. Kenny, the 2-on-2 here with Kenny and Rodriguez. Tries to sidestep her defender. And a blocking foul.
That time Megan Kenny took Karina Perez to school, if you will, a senior to a junior. I got you backpedaling. If you're going to come out to stop the ball, as soon as you take a step towards me, I'm picking up my dribble and initiating the contact right back into you. Foul called on the defender every time.
Still a 9-point San Perlita lead. Araceli Nieto in the ball game. And Kenny misses both free throws. Rebounded by Elizondo. Timeout on the floor. We're going to take a timeout up here. Lady Trojans lead by 9. You're watching Rio Sports Live.
Rio Sports Live. Thank you for watching Rio Sports Live.
Hi fans, today's game is brought to you by New York Life. Best of luck to your team.
And I'm Danielle Goslin, and I'm a partner with New York Life Insurance Company. For over 170 years, New York Life has built a reputation of developing the most successful professionals in the industry.
We help to manage the process from day one and guide you on your way to success. If you're looking to challenge yourself and build an insurance and financial service business,
then we would like to show you how we can help.
Come see what the City of San Benito has to offer today. Business owners, visit the San Benito Chamber of Commerce and find out how they can help you be a part of the new and exciting growth the city is experiencing today. Supporting business, community, and the teams, San Benito Chamber of Commerce.
Welcome back to Real Sports Live. 4:33 left in the third quarter. Kevin Arrow, Joe Bowling here at Santa Maria High School in the 32-2A seeding game between San Isidro and San Perlita, the second seeding game Joe and I cover. And it's been a day full of basketball from Class 6A down to Class 2A. Megan Kenny with the ball, crossing the volleyball line. Working around the screen.
I'll call that foul on Modesta Garcia of San Perlita, coming out to try to establish a screen. It takes two to set a screen, my friends. The first one is the one setting the screen has to establish where they're set, and then it's up to the ball handler to bring the defender into the screen. That time, Modesta was trying to guide her way up and get in the lane of the defender, and that's an easy call.
Alvarado with the ball being guarded by Kenny, driving in with the left hand. Nice move off the glass. Mia Alvarado showing off some fancy footwork. Now Kenny being guarded by Perez.
She'll commit a foul in the backcourt. Remember at halftime I talked about the Joe Bowling rule. 2 points or less at halftime. First team to call timeout loses. Remember, San Isidro fans, it's 95% of the time, so you still got a chance to win this game. Doesn't happen every time.
So you're saying there's a chance?
There is a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance?
It's happened.
Back to the action. Rodriguez with the ball. That's because I'm a guy of statistics. We're both baseball fans, so.
That's where I developed this.
There you go. Analytics, numbers, it's all fun. It's all good. Kenny with the ball, 3:33, third quarter. Rodriguez almost lost the handle on it, gets it back out to Kenny. Right at the volleyball line, chest pass over to Garcia. She puts up a three off the side of the rim. No good, rebounded by San Isidro. That's a good call. Roma Elizondo's foot was on the line.
I'm not sure. Elizondo looked like she left her feet with both feet established in bounds and got rid of the ball before she landed.
Just may be.
Where's our replay?
Well,
it's coming soon.
I don't know.
I've got replay for softball. I'll show you how to use it.
That'll work. I'm talking about as far as replaying the game. I'm not sure how that'll work. Kenny puts up a high three-pointer just off the mark, rebounded by Alvarado. San Isidro trying to push the bill here, taking it coast to coast, high off the glass, and good. What a move. Mia Alvarado, the sophomore, carrying the torch here in the third quarter for the San Isidro offense. That pass knocked away in a turnover. Kenny comes up with the loose basketball. Back into the hands of Alvarado. It's going to be a one-on-one. Driving to the basket. Good! 6 points from Mia Alvarado, and it's a three-point game.
That's a 6-0 run. All six scored by Alvarado, if I'm not mistaken.
Nieto now with the ball. Passes that one and a travel.
As she travels, she had Modesta Garcia there. Just her footwork wasn't right to get a pass off. She had to try to figure out how I can square up to deliver that pass, and she traveled doing so.
They struggled breaking the press on that last possession. And if Garcia could have got the handle on it, could have had a different story. Alvarado wanted to stop and pop. She kicks this one out to Perez. Three-pointer off the mark. Rebounded by Alvarado. Again, kicks this one back out to Perez. San Isidro trying to either tie it or cut it to a one-point game, and they do. All of a sudden, from a 10-point lead, back down to one. Back comes San Isidro. It was a 9-point lead.
That's an 8-0 run, and now a turnover. Chance for the Lady Tigers to take the lead. Remember, I said there was a chance.
There was a chance. Garcia to inbound the ball, so they led by as many as 9. And all of a sudden, you're a Trojan fan looking up at that scoreboard. It's trimmed down to 1. Garcia inbounds it to Alvarado, who has truly taken over this quarter, who sparked this run for San Isidro. Alvarado going to call her own number, driving in high off the glass, off the side of the rim. That ball blocked away by Nieto, and some hard contact. And again, unintentional, but just a part of the game and how these two teams play.
Going strong for the board. Roma Elizondo gets up. She'll step to the free throw line. She's a freshman out there. It's not going to be the last time she plays in this rivalry matchup. Non-shooting foul. I can't believe that.
Yeah, we both thought she was going to the line. Garcia now with the ball taken away by Kenny in a jump ball, and it's going to be SP basketball.
If you hold the ball against either one of these teams and bring it down, good chance you're going to get tied up, and that was the case there. Megan Kenny just kind of waiting around for that ball to get close and tied up the defender.
Here comes the press again from San Isidro. Rojas, the ball handler, gets this one out to Garcia. She had a hot start to the quarter. Bounce pass, nice pass inside to Nieto. Good.
Now we're back to how it was in the second quarter. San Isidro would get back to within 1, and San Perlita always had a way to push it back out to 3.
That ball knocked away. Alvarado was the ball handler. Going to be a foul going against Nieto. Alexandria Garcia to inbound.
Again, if Nieto stands her ground on the sideline, you force the ball handler to either give the ball up, travel, or step out of bounds. But when you reach across the body, and initiate contact, thus the foul.
Elise checking into the game for Araceli Nieto. Those are the two Nieto girls. And Elisa checks into the game. 3-point San Perlita lead. Rojas inbounds it to Kenny. And again, Joe, here comes that press. Pass up to Garcia. They're able to break the press, but another turnover over to Bettis. Bettis going to kick this one out to Alvarado. That one's just in and out of the rim, no good. Put up the shot. Back comes Rodriguez on the other end. Trying to escape the pressure. Kenny off the glass, no good. Rebounded. Now a scrum for the basketball right underneath the basket. Jump ball, and it's going to be San Isidro basketball.
And just watch, Kevin. You count the number of bodies on the floor every time the whistle blows from here on out. That time there were 3.
We'll start from there and count up. Still got a quarter to go. Minute 24 left here in the third, and an entertaining third quarter. Roma Elizondo there down on the other end.
Jordan Garcia stays on the bench for San Isidro. Now she comes back into the game. They made a serious run with one of their better players on the bench. Jordan Garcia can provide some instant energy for the San Isidro team right now.
Here she comes with a minute 21 left in the third quarter. Game still hanging well in the balance. That pass out to Bettis. Here she comes on the other end. Minute 13, clock ticking away here in the third quarter. Alvarado able to save that ball down the baseline. Here comes the double team. Now a triple team. You just see 3 white jerseys all around Alvarado.
Now committed the foul though because they were all reaching for the ball. By the way, whistle blew. One body on the floor, another one has to tie their shoe. So is that 1.5?
We'll go with the 1.5.
A knee and a body on the floor is 1.5, right?
We'll go with the 1.5. I agree. Nieto checks into the ball game. Daniela Ramos comes in. She's wearing the number 1. She was our mystery player there in the first half, but Rudy saved the day and got us the number. Rebounded by Ramos over to Kenny. And a one-on-one. Almost got the and one.
Karina Perez getting back defensively. Megan Kinney showed the speed. Jordan Garcia was racing. I'd like to see just an outright foot race between Megan Kinney and Jordan Garcia. That would be a bang-bang finish.
That'd be fun. And again, that San Perlita bench ready to explode if Kinney was able to get the and one. Makes the first free throw. Then back up to a 4-point Lady Trojan lead. Nicole Delgado comes into the ball game. Checking out is Karina Perez. Under a minute to go here in the third quarter. And it's a 5-point Lady Trojan lead. San Perlita now weathering the storm from San Isidro late in that third period. Back they come on the other end. Ball picked off by Kenny.
If you look at it, San Isidro led a little bit in this game, Kevin, but for the most part, San Perlita has dictated the lead and made San Isidro expend energy, just catching up, getting back in the game. Well, you have energy when you try to take a lead later.
They took a 1-point lead on a couple occasions, but other than that, San Perlita again has weathered that storm and really, again, taking control here in this third period. That ball picked off by Mia Alvarado. Here she comes on the other end. She's going to kick this one out. That one picked off by Kenny. What a move. It's going to be a 2-on-1. Kenny with the easy layup and good. Wow, the vision from Kenny, like you mentioned earlier, back up to a 7-point game. 8 seconds and counting. Clock ticking away. Again, taken away by Kenny, but she's on the baseline, and it'll be out of bounds, and the ball will be in possession of San Isidro.
Just the vision and understanding of passing lanes. Megan Kenny getting in the way, making plays.
Delgado to inbound the ball to Alvarado. She's been their hottest shooter.
All right, so that foul happens with 1.9 seconds left in the quarter. It's the 7th team foul on San Perlita. So that opens up opportunities for San Isidro at the free throw line. Most importantly, right now, you get a quality chance at points, but from here on, free throws for San Isidro when the whistle blows.
Alvarado makes the first free throw. 1.9 seconds left here in the third quarter. We're gearing up for a wild fourth quarter. Second free throw off the mark. And Kenny tries to just chuck that one about three-fourths of the way. As we head to the fourth quarter, San Perlita 42, San Isidro 36. You're watching Rio Sports Live.
Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles, located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, is filled with vintage items, collectibles, and a selection of vinyl records that's as good as it gets. Every shelf, every aisle, and table is filled daily by a number of vendors that ensures that something here just might be the item you have to have. The vinyl record area helps bring an added atmosphere that makes for the fun trip when stepping back in time with the memories. Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles in San Benito.
Hi, I'm Coach Nava with Westaco East High School. Thank you for watching Rio Sports Live.
Welcome back to Rio Sports Live. Kevin Arrow, Joe Bowling, and Rudy Zamaripa Jr. to our left, who he's flirted with the mic, but he's yet to commit.
He won't put the headset on. I'm going to get on to his dad. What about this, Rudy Sr.? Why won't your son talk basketball? He played the game for a long time.
And when we're in the car, he's breaking it all down, naming all these defenses. I'm like, that's all you have to do. Just
practice Superman. That's what he is.
Talk basketball.
Got to get in the game, Rudy.
That's what I tell the kids. And what are we going to say in the interview? We're just going to talk basketball. You're just going to talk softball. You're just going to talk football. Make it easy. What hasn't been easy is this basketball game for either of these teams. They're really working some overtime this Saturday afternoon with some extra basketball. And an easy bucket there.
That may be the play of the game. Karime Rojas saved that behind her back to Megan Kinney. Over for the bank shot.
And Garcia now comes up with the steal. Yeah, that was a no-look pass from Rojas. Showing off some serious athleticism. It's
back to the basket, going out of bounds. Right to Kinney, who immediately, with that vision, got that pass off. Now a chance for a double-digit lead, which will be the first time we say that today.
Free throw's good. Coach Nate Garza. Of course, he's the boys basketball coach and the AD at San Perlita. He's coaching up Megan Kinney there. Pretty interesting. I'm just curious what Coach Garza was coaching up to. Oh, look at him. He's standing up. Always full of energy, Coach Garza. Back comes Kinney on the other end. I told Coach Garza and Coach Munguia before the game, I said, kudos to you guys for wearing a suit. It's hot in this gym. And he's like, yeah, we're not taking the suits off. The suits stay on.
They knew coming in it was hot. They played here just a few weeks ago.
The 10-point Lady Trojan lead. Kenny with the ball. Over to Rojas.
If you're San Perlita, you don't have to go into a delay game, but if you're allowed to, take 20, 30 seconds off for possession and shorten this game right now with a 10-point lead.
Garcia trying to find a lane and just throws this one away.
Tried to attack in the paint, tried to muscle her way through there. You make a couple extra passes, you take time off the clock. Again, not a designed complete delay game, but you can shorten this ball game and take time away from San Isidro that they need right now to get back in this game.
Now both the Garcias trying to tussle for the basketball. Now to inbound it is Alexandra Garcia.
That was a whistle with two bodies on the floor.
I lost count. We're double digits.
It's at least 1.5, 2 bodies on the floor every time the whistle blows.
Delgado with the ball. And this is, just saves it from a backcourt violation. Now Kenny with the ball. Bounce pass to Rojas. Good. 12-point Lady Trojan lead.
Taking control right now. Again, it's been no shortage of effort going after the loose balls. And that time the Perlita Lady Trojans took advantage of the near backcourt, turned that into a layup, and lead by a dozen.
You're watching Real Sports Live. We'll be back in just a moment.
Hi, we're PJ Lady Bears, and thank you for watching Real Sports Live. Go!
Internet is more than just uploads and downloads. It's about connecting people. VTX1 Companies is here for you, bringing communities closer together. VTX1 has connected customers for almost 70 years. Our internet service spans across South Texas to some of the most remote areas. Faster wireless service is now available in Brownsville, Rio Hondo, San Carlos, and Los Indios. Call 1-800-446-2031 or visit vtx1.net to find out more.
D-Tronics does it all, from audio, video, alarms, tint, and more. Visit dtronics.com to see all the latest installs. D-Tronics for your auto, home, or business.
Welcome back to Real Sports Live. You're watching Ty Johnson and Noah Olivares, former Trojan and a current Trojan, part of the three-peat. Trojans winning their third straight district title last night. Those boys were up there dancing.
They were.
They were. If only we could have gotten them, they'd have loved that. So the Trojan basketball team is here in attendance cheering on the girls. That ball stolen away and gets the bucket to go. Aaliyah Garcia having herself a second half. Lady Trojans blowing the doors open. Garcia steals this one away and a foul called.
Leah Garcia went on a little personal run in that third quarter that really opened things up for the Perlita Lady Trojans. That time back-to-back steals, made a basket, gets a chance at the free throw line. She's on my ballot for player of the game.
I was about to say it's between Aaliyah Garcia and Megan Kenny. She's had herself a ball game. We're going to need Rudy here to chip in on his vote. Odds are he'll pick someone else. 6:14 left in this one.
He's always lobbying for the officials.
Yeah.
His brother's in
likely,
pinstripes.
most likely. If he could give an official, he has it, official of the game, I bet you he would. Nothing wrong with that, though. These guys, it's a tough job. It's definitely a tough job. 50-36, biggest lead for San Perlita here this afternoon.
Wasn't so long ago. It was a one-point game, my friends.
And Mia Alvarado was responsible for that spark that San Isidro had, and now it's a turnover. It was the tip ball. Coach Rene Flores signaling the tip signal, and the official agreed. So the ball will stay with the road team. Alvarado trying to find a crease through the defense. That ball stolen away, and back comes Kenny on the other end. Swing pass to the left, high off the glass, no good. Rebounded by San Isidro, and here they come. Delgado fires this one up to Alvarado. Has an opportunity here. Chase from behind by Rojas. And it's going to be a travel. Woo.
Well, I'm not so sure there. She looked like she stomped on her foot right there, planted a pivot foot. You're still allowed that step if you establish a pivot foot.
It looked like she did from up here, and I was looking for the and one potentially, but that wasn't the call. Nieto in the game, loses the track of the ball, and it's going to be a turnover. Back over to Jordan Garcia, 5:36, clock ticking away on any potential comeback from San Isidro. Strong move to the hole, almost got the and one. But Garcia will go to the line.
Well, we saw San Isidro go on an 8-0 run earlier in today's game when they trailed 9. That was in the third quarter to cut it back to a one-point game. Do they have one more of those runs just to get it back to a couple possessions, and then can you get a couple of key steals? There's a method to this, but it has to start right now. 5:30 left in this game.
Garcia's first free throw is off the mark. So we just realized, we'll stay on air here because we just realized where we're at on the calendar here. And
oh boy,
the Mission Fast Pitch Tournament starts Thursday.
Which means
excitement.
Let's go. We have softball action on Monday. We'll have most likely softball and basketball action on Tuesday. We have the added basketball coverage on Wednesday. Thursday begins the Mission softball tournament. We'll be there in the morning. Depending on where we go at night, some of us may split off and do a playoff basketball game as that second round starts off on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We know Friday will be there in Mission. Somebody's going to be there for the championship game of that Mission. We'll also have the added basketball coverage on Saturday. So, yeah, are we going to be busy? Yes, indeed. Welcome to the season.
Oh, absolutely. And I know that the earliest the game started at noon in Mission, so the good thing is we get to get a little bit of sleep at the same time. I don't think I'll get any sleep. I'm a softball nerd. People know that, so that's public. I'm excited.
Jacob is our soccer voice on Real Sports Live. That's for certain. Jacob Young has done a tremendous job carrying the load. Kevin is going to be softball. Well, it appears right now Mark is the anything other sports that people don't know. He pulled off swimming. He pulled off wrestling. So, kudos to Mark. And but he's going to get baptized into softball this week as well.
Oh, yeah. Mark's a big softball guy because when he was at the Herald, when they were still stationed at the Herald, he covered softball. And when I was at the Star, I covered softball on our end. So he just got a little knack for softball there. But Monday we got Lyford and Rio Hondo. And
big matchup.
That's a giant matchup. Speaking of small schools here with what Lyford has been able to do over these past couple of years, and with this senior core, they got Joey Rios has 7 seniors on that team, the most seniors he's had, the most experienced team he's had, and I feel in these last few years that I've covered him, it seems as if every year he's sophomore, junior heavy. But the time is now for that team. If they want to go on a special run, this is the year to do it with Jessica Cruz, Jericho Rojas, those 2 seniors there, and Johanna Garza. Remember that name. Garcia's bucket is good. Remember the name Hannah Garza. She's a junior this year, or she's a sophomore this year. She's a shortstop. She could easily become the best shortstop in the Valley by the time this season is over.
Wow.
Sheer athleticism. The kid can play. That layup is in and out of the rim, rebounded by Garcia, 52-37. Kenny trying to poke this one away. 2 more bodies hit the floor. We're easily in double digits. Then you look at Rio Hondo on the 4A side, a team that outside of what Elias Martinez and San Benito did, Mario Rodriguez and Weslaco, making it to the promised land, the state tournament, Rio Hondo made the region final in 2017 in a special group, and there's one remaining player from that team, and that's Nayeli Garcia, who's a senior this year.
Going back to the history of Rio sports, we were broadcasting those games when Rio Hondo made that magical run that first year. And, I know on the preseason games, the scrimmages, coaches, again, scripted up to try to get players in and try to get a look at different variations of lineups. But they also, first and foremost, want to win. And Harlingen South shook some eyes and shook some polls up with what they get against Rio Hondo. But the Rio Hondo Lady Bobcats are poised to make another run this year.
Right, and again, Nayeli Garcia, really the lone senior on that team. Another team that's always loaded with youth. They're sophomore, junior heavy this year again, and there's plenty of athletes. Monday's going to be a special treat for you softball fans right off the bat between Lyford and Rio Hondo. Rojas' jumper's off the side of the rim, no good. Almost got her own rebound. 4:32 clock ticking away here in this 32-2A seeding game. Delgado with the ball, gets this one out. That 3-pointer is up. Good! Karina Perez puts in a 3-pointer. 12-point ball game. Still plenty of time to piece together a comeback. Driving in with the right hand.
See if they count that basket. I'm not sure they will, but.
And talking about Harlingen South, they have a golden ticket matchup against Weslaco High, and some talking with coaches, not just in that district, but from around the valley. They expect Weslaco to kind of be that sleeper team, and it's funny to say, is Weslaco a sleeper because of the runs they've made, that 2016 run to state, but they've had some early exits in the playoffs these last couple years, but a lot of people are saying do not sleep on Weslaco. Of course, they're still in 31-6A. The good thing is that they get to rekindle that flame the next 2 years when Weslaco and San Benito lock horns, and then you get the big 3 with Weslaco, San Benito, Harlingen South. Harlingen High is a team that only has 2 seniors. They're loaded. Oh, it's going to be exciting. And another thing, we covered her signing a couple weeks ago, Reba Reyes, pound for pound, best softball player in the Valley. You talk about 5 tools. Reba Reyes has those 5 tools, and again, talking with coaches, they've told me straight up that, yes, in their opinions, not coming from Coach Tracy Blackman, of course. From the outside, of course, her own coach is going to say that. But coaches from outside of the district and in that district believe she's the best player in the Valley. So it's going to be a heck of a district. It's going to be a heck of a season.
We'll see her and her team in their tournament, which is loaded later on.
That's going to be a carry. Yes, Coach Blackman is hosting again that Los Fresnos tournament. You got the big guns right off the bat. You have Rojondo, Lyford, Los Fresnos, Divines coming down. Of course, Coach Blackman has some ties to the Divine softball program. Under 4 minutes to go here, picked off by Garcia. She's had herself a second half. She's going to call her own number here off the glass, and another pair. And Tig loves it.
It's not just baskets, it's defense, steals, and baskets.
That three-pointer off the mark. Back comes San Perlita. Jasmine Rodriguez. Ball is picked off. Back into the hands of the Lady Tigers, and here they come. They trail by 15. 3:25 left in this one. That ball knocked away by Rodriguez, then picked up. That jumper from Bettis off the mark. Rebounded by Ramos, and back comes San Perlita. Out to Nieto. Timeout taken by Coach Monguia. So a 15-point Lady Trojan lead. Timeout on the floor. We'll take a timeout up here. You're watching Rio Sports Live.
Hi, we're the Lady Wildcats, and thank you for watching Rio Sports Live.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Castillo. I invite you to visit San Benito and see for yourself the many things this community has to offer. Our offices of economic development offer a variety of business resources to developers, investors, and business owners from small to large scale. Contact us and let us work together on your next business opportunity.
Hi, we're Edinburgh Cougars, and thank you for watching Rio Sports Live.
Fans, if you want to look your best at the next game, then let Chewy's Custom Sports go to work for you. From custom designs and graphics to mass production in-house. If it's hats, shirts, buttons, mugs, cups, banners, and more, then Chewy's is there for every team and every sport. A veteran-owned company in touch with the community. It's Chewy's Custom Sports in San Benito.
Welcome back to Rio Sports Live from Santa Maria, Texas. Kevin Aro, Joe Bowling, Rudy Zamaripa Jr., who we've pegged, Joe, as Santa Rosa's third favorite son.
Third favorite son, unless he starts putting a headset on soon. I'm going to tear him down to 4 or 5. Then Ryan Perez and A.B. Lazoy are going to take his place.
He's ahead of Aaron Ramirez because obviously Santa Rosa's favorite son, Johnny Cipriano. Second on the list, Mark Molina. And then there's Rudo falling in third place on the Santa Rosa pecking order. 15-point Lady Trojan lead. Rodriguez pass is picked off by Alvarado. Here she goes. It's going to be a 2-on-1, trying to weave her way through the defense off the glass, and good. Mia Alvarado. She has had herself a ball game. 2:44 clock continuing to wind down in this one. Two more bodies hit the floor. Back comes Alvarado. 2-on-1 advantage. San Isidro off the glass, no good. Second chance points. Just off the mark. Jordan Garcia right there. Alvarado, Joe, you could break that down just as good as anybody. When you have the 2-on-1, what do you look for there for Alvarado?
Well, you got to make the defender commit. Once you make the defender commit, you can do something with the ball. That time, she kind of took the lane to the basket. Defender had to stand in one place. Jordan Garcia made that harder on herself on the offensive rebound. She got it. She spun away. You just take that ball and square up and shoot it. You're right there at the basket. You turned a 1-foot bank shot into a 3-foot fadeaway jump hook that results in a free throw opportunity.
Modesta Garcia comes in. Jasmine Rodriguez checks out. Free throw off the mark. Back comes Kinney, being guarded closely by Alvarado.
Can you take a look at where this game switched to gears? It was a 1-point ball game about 3 minutes into the third quarter when Leo Garcia for San Perlita took over on a little personal run.
Right.
San Perlita ballooned out to a comfortable lead. San Isidro went on a final 8-0 run to get back in the game, and since then San Perlita has just totally taken over this game.
Back comes San Isidro Perez on the other end. Kicks this one out to Elizondo. Garcia puts up a three. That one's off the back of the rim, no good. Rebounded by Alvarado. That one almost picked up by Kenny. That shot's blocked.
I'll call a foul on Modesta Garcia. Jordan Garcia went right at her. I like the San Isidro thought process here. They're going for quick shots, but they're also going for the rebounds. And they're contesting everything on an outlet pass should San Perlita get their hands on the ball. They're not having to foul. They're getting their hands on the ball, but they got to convert to the free throw line to start it off.
Talk about what Aaliyah Garcia did in that little stretch run, that 9-point lead that they had. But it was almost as if her and Mia Alvarado were just trading blows, because Alvarado sparked that 8-0 run. She had 6 of those points. Free throw's good, and there's still plenty of time. 55-44, an 11-point lead, just under 2 minutes to go. But if San Isidro is going to want to get something going, they're going to have to do it. Now Garcia to the basket, no good. And it's shoot. Oh, okay. I thought that ball was going to go over to San Isidro.
I'll say Megan Kinney got it off the leg of Nicole Delgado.
Carmine Rojas to inbound the ball. Gets this one out to Garcia. Back out to Kenny at the volleyball line. Guarded by Alvarado to Nieto. Back out to Garcia. Now the Lady Trojans can keep. I was about to say they could just play takeaway here, but.
Yeah, they got uncomfortable what they were doing. They were asked to take the air out of the ball, and the spacing just wasn't right, and then the travel. Now, for San Isidro, you got to score real quick here. Cut it to single digits.
Big possession here for the Lady Tigers. Delgado with the ball gets this one out. Back inside, kicks this one out to Perez, but it's intercepted by Rojas. But Elizondo able to pick up the loose ball, back over to Perez. Perez looking to drive to the lane. That shot's no good.
Perez took it right at Modesta Garcia. Again, you catch a defender backpedaling as you're dribbling on them, and you wait for your move. If they take anything close to a step to recover and head towards you, pick up your dribble, deliver a shot right into the defender. You're going to get to the line. What you have to do then is to go with the strength to make the shot. You know the contact's coming. The foul's going to go in your direction. Make the shot, get a chance at it and one.
That's a 10-point game. Bettis at the charity stripe.
Took them 18 seconds to score that free throw after they had possession of the ball.
Makes both free throws, and it's a 9-point Lady Trojan lead. Now you got to hold on here if you're San Perlita. Can't afford to turn the ball over anymore. Nieto now with the ball. Almost had it poked away. Gets this one out to Rojas. And wisely kicks it out to Kenny. Mia Alvarado going to help out her buddy there.
Tough foul that time by Alvarado, sending Kenny to the ground. Again, we talked about it, how many bodies were on the floor when the whistle blows. It's always one minimum between these two teams.
Talk about our tab, Joe, that we're continuing to pass out. Megan Kenny was in, I wrote a feature on her. And here's a kid who at a young age didn't play sports, didn't start playing basketball until 7th grade. You know, growing up, she's from Port Mansfield and lives in Port Mansfield. And Coach Munguia mentioned that she helps run the parents' bait shop up at 3, 4, 5 in the morning, helping her parents prepare the bait shop, out there catching bait herself. And then she said it wasn't until 7th grade when I decided to pick up a basketball because we didn't have enough kids on the team. I wanted there to be a team, so I said, okay, I'll play. And I found out it was a sport for me. Bucket is good, and slowly chipping away at San Isidro now. They're going to need a turnover here.
They'll commit the foul. That's a good job. That's a good gamble that time. You darn near get the steal. And now you send San Perlita to the free throw line. 8-point game, 49 seconds. That's 3 possessions if you're thinking about the 3-point arc into play, which you have to if you're San Isidro.
Kenny, of course, played volleyball. Basketball going to get ready for softball here. Yeah, just one of those kids who has a strong work ethic. Nieto misses both free throws. Now Garcia fighting for the basketball. It's going to be a jump ball.
That's the Garcia. I won't go on a stat book, but she hung around in there. keeping that thing alive to force the jump on it. San Perlita on the exchange. They can take some more time off the clock.
Rojas to inbound the ball to Kenny. 43 seconds clock. Continuing to run. Clock's your best friend if you're a Trojan fan. Ball almost swiped away by Elizondo. Now Rojas underneath the basket. That shot's blocked. Munguia wanted a call. Not going to get it. 34 seconds left in the ball game. Again, Rojas under the basket to inbound it. Kicks this one out to Kenny. Back out to Nieto. And another foul on Kenny by Alvarado.
27 seconds left. Free throw opportunity here for San Perlita. Still a 3-possession game.
An opportunity for Kenny here to make this a 10-point game. San Perlita leads by 8. Makes the first one. So Santa Maria won this district. Then you had to figure out who the 2 and 3 seed were. That's why we're here today. Second free throw off the mark. La Villa made the playoffs as the 4 seed in this district. So player of the game, who do you got?
I got Aaliyah Garcia. Instrumental with multiple steals, those big shots, and then the run that she sparked to put this game away.
That three-pointer just off the mark. Final 10 seconds in this one. Alvarado puts up a 3, no good. Second chance points off the glass, no good. And it's going to stay with San Isidro. That one will just about wrap things up here in this one. 4.9 seconds left. Aaliyah Garcia. She's got my vote. She's got your vote. She is our Hacienda. She has it. Player of the game. That's how this one will come to an end. Final score from Santa Maria. San Perlita, 57. San Isidro, 48.
Aaliyah Garcia right there in the middle of it. If she would have made that shot, Kevin, she may have been our player of the year.
Right, player of the year. Whataburger gift card for the year, whatever we can do. She had herself a game. So now the seeding has been decided. San Perlita will be the 2 seed. San Isidro will be the 3 seed. La Villa will be the 4. Santa Maria will be the 1 seed. Heading into the playoffs, 57-48. Final score from Santa Maria.
Well, we hope that's not our final girls basketball broadcast of the season. But again, our sponsorship is limited as we are looking to extend into the playoffs. But everything is attached with a $200 fee. That's first and foremost out of UIL's pocket. We have to pay that into their pocket. And right now we have 0 sponsorship for any girls basketball playoffs as we get set for next week and games beginning as early as Monday. So if it was our final girls basketball game, well, we do thank all of the girls coaches that assisted us and all the schools that participated in our broadcast. We certainly hope for the fans it's not our girls' final broadcast of the year on the basketball side. Again, San Perlita wins this, so now they'll have to do some flipping of the coins as they will be taking on Freer in the next round, and that has not been set as to where they'll play or when they're going to play. They're trying to establish that. They'll be doing those coin flips probably today, maybe as late as Monday morning, but I would say that's going to happen over the next day, and we'll be able to share that on our social media where they may play. Again, our player of the game was tonight was Aaliyah Garcia. Right behind her was Megan Kinney. Regarding the scoring production, Kinney had more points than Garcia, I believe, but in this case, give a little edge to Garcia for what she did during a critical time of the game in which it was still in question. It was her personal run and effort that extended the game, and she gets our player of the game. Hope you enjoyed our broadcast. For Kevin Naro, for Rudy Zamaripa Jr., our thanks again to Santa Maria High School for assisting us in the broadcast game. San Isidro and San Perlita advance on to the playoffs. Our best of wishes for both teams. And again, we certainly hope we're covering more basketball on the girls' side next week. Till next time, so long.